Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Google Alphabet. This was a stock analysis request from a couple of viewers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now on this chart we have a pretty simple structure here initially, a 1-2 setup. Yeah, this is pretty clear, not really disputable too much. But then this is the third wave to the upside, and how we really interpret this movement could heavily differ, because I could argue that this is heading towards the later stages of the uptrend within the wave 3, but at the same time we see the momentum actually increasing, where in the last year, since April, we have seen stronger and stronger movements to the upside, where I might even be able to argue that only now are we really starting the actual core wave 3 to the upside. Normally, I could even argue that, yeah, this could work out as a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, and it could be just the wave 5 to the upside. I'm not dismissing that possibility, but as the momentum is increasing and we see even further increases, and yeah, we do see a clear potential in this area to extend further and further, I cannot dismiss the possibility of everything that happened so far being really a series of 1-2 setups instead. Yeah, this could be a 1-2, another 1-2 here, something like this. I'm not gonna track it exactly now. Then another 1-2 setup here, 1-2, 1-2. Then this could be the latest 1-2 setup, where now we would be looking to develop the third wave to the upside. And until we actually get some evidence that, yeah, this is not going on, this is not happening, we can be looking for even this hyper bullish scenario. I believe this is actually a stock that has the potential to build such a structure. Now only imagine if we are only now building a third wave up, we would actually be looking afterwards for further and further extensions higher and higher within 4 or 5 patterns to the upside. Of course, this would end up taking many years, even decades, to complete the entire large wave 3, and that is not necessarily a problem. This is just some perspective that we can watch and track this chart from. But again, we need to pace ourselves a little, because we still need to reach certain requirements for this to be the actual wave 3 going on. And even then, it could still be the actual wave 5, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th. Yeah, that could still play out, and it would be indeed a wave 3, but it would be part of a larger wave 5 to the upside. But we can still track, I believe, this hyper bullish interpretation, especially as long as the momentum keeps going here, and we can keep holding the areas of support and posting higher highs, and yeah, so on. Now, if this really is to play out in such an interpretation, this is what I am tracking. I am looking here at a 1-2 setup, where I am looking to reach the ideal target in the third wave to the upside at the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, which is around the near $500 level. Yeah, we are looking at almost $500 for the ideal target in this third wave to the upside. Now, based on the internal structure which has formed so far within this wave 3, we can note that it is easily achievable for this pattern to extend to these levels. Yeah, we have here an initial wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, then another 1-2 setup here, and I'm looking at this as a third wave to the upside. Now keep in mind, this could easily extend. This third wave has no signal that it is done. Yeah, I have done some counting. We may be able to consider it complete, but in the end, it could still be an internal wave 3 that is still extending higher and higher. And even then, we may still be able to consider this something like a series of 1-2 setups again that could still push higher and higher. Now, this is quite hyper bullish. It is a bit unrealistic, and we will need some further evidence, some price action to actually back up such developments. So for now, we are going to track this pattern where we are looking at a double 1-2-1-2 setup, and now we are looking at the third wave to the upside. But even so, I don't necessarily believe that this wave 3 is complete just yet, because within this structure, I would actually like to see at least an additional high. Yeah, even if this is an ending diagonal within the 5th wave, I would still like to see an additional high. So for this area, on the larger time frame, we are going to track one area of support. and that would be assuming that we have indeed already topped within this wave 3. And I can't just assume that we didn't. Yeah, I need to have an area to look forward to on the large time frame in case we form a more significant top already, and that would be between the $282.5 all the way down to the $238.6 level at the 50% retracement. Yeah, as long as we hold here the 50% retracement, we can still look for further extensions to the upside within this idea of an impulse. Now, of course, we don't necessarily expect the largest correction here in a wave 4. That would be quite out of proportions, and it would signal to us that this structure is likely not going on. But again, just some perspective. We are looking for somewhat similar proportions here in the wave 4 for what we had here comparably in the wave 2. And again, since this would be a third wave to the upside, I wouldn't necessarily expect too deep of a retracement within the wave 4. I would be quite happy with just reaching the first level of support, and even then, sometimes within very strong third waves to the upside, the retracements are so shallow that not even that is reached. Yeah, and it's not to say that it won't be reached or that it isn't even likely. It is preferred and rather common, but sometimes they don't get reached. Okay, and for this is what we are dealing with here on the larger time frame. And now we are going to focus here internally on this movement to the upside, where I am tracking two main areas of support. Now I want to discuss a bit about this structure, because within this area I could actually argue that we may still see even a series of four, 5 patterns to the upside, where yeah, I could argue that this is 1 2 1 2 1 2, and even here another 1 2 setup, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then yeah, we need this series of 4 5 patterns to actually complete this entire structure. For this, we can track the area of support that we have here for the white interpretation. Actually, sorry, I mixed it up. It is the yellow scenario that would allow this to be this latest 1 2 3 4th and the 5th. We have the first level of support at the $319 all the way down to the $308 level. Now keep in mind, I am not accounting for a possible internal 1 2 3 4th 5th going on in this area. There may be an extension within this internal wave 3, in which I wouldn't be surprised if we already bottomed, but it is for this larger 1 2 3 4th 5th. And then what I am tracking in white is more of a signal that this structure is not expected to go higher anymore. So if this area of support in yellow is to fail, I would be looking out for this area of support in white, which is not necessarily the preferred interpretation for this structure to the upside. It would be an interpretation of a diagonal pattern going on, but it is to signal to us that after we break here below the $296.6 level at the 61.8% retracement, it is to signal us that okay, this third wave is likely done. We should be watching out for the large retracement into the wave 4. Yeah, if we break below the 61.8% retracement, we should be thinking that there is a high risk that we may be heading into the larger area of support here for the wave 4 that starts at the $282.5. Yeah, so that is the purpose of the small time frame area of support here in white, because it is not necessarily a preferred scenario. Already, if we fail the yellow interpretation, we should be watching out for such an interpretation, because after that only the white scenario really holds this third wave still, or allows this third wave to still extend higher. And yeah, for now this is about it. These are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.